Good morning, guys. I'm Melissa, and welcome back to my channel. This is a place where I like to share positivity and share videos that uplift and inspire you to go out there and live your best life, love yourself more fully. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a few practices that can really help you to see yourself objectively. There is so much power in being able to detach yourself from your day-to-day living on autopilot mode and actually look at some of the potentially destructive habits that you've developed over time, the negative mindsets that are actually taking you away from living the life you really want to live. And there's just so much power in being able to see yourself objectively. And so I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can start to do that today. And this is perfect for anyone who feels like you've got certain issues that keep reoccurring in your life and you're just not sure what is the cause of them or what is keeping you feeling stuck and frustrated and unable to really push past certain boundaries, certain levels of success in your life. The first tip that I want to share with you, and this is something that's actually quite fascinating to do anyway. It's interesting, I think. And it is to be a narrator of your life for an entire day. So what I mean by this is, in your mind, pretend that there is a narrator who is actually saying out loud everything that you're doing in the day. So say you wake up and you think, I'll use my own name as an example. Melissa opens her eyes. She wakes up and she's stressing about all of the things she has to do that day. She's feeling lethargic and tired and like she just wants to go back to bed. Now, basically, I'm saying, I'm making this up, but I'm saying how I'm feeling and what I'm doing. So Melissa contemplates whether or not she should do this, but then she ends up deciding to procrastinate on it. Melissa eats the same breakfast that she has every single day and dreads going to work that day, or whatever it may be. So being able to actually be a narrator, pretend that you're a third-party person who is actually maybe writing a script of what you're doing that day, that actually enables you to see things for what they really are. Maybe it's a negative mindset. Maybe you keep having the same repetitive thoughts or feelings. Melissa goes into work today and feels completely inadequate compared to her coworkers. She feels like her coworkers don't like her and they're probably gossiping and laughing at her and whatever it may be. So by being able to as accurately as possible, narrate your own day, narrate your thoughts, narrate how you're feeling when you're around certain people and fears that you have, something might come up and you might realize, wow, I didn't actually realize that I felt this certain way. Or maybe you're feeling guilty throughout your day and you're not even aware of it. Like there's so many instances in your day where you're like, oh, I feel guilty about this. I had to say no to that person. I feel guilty about that. Or I had to postpone something. I feel guilty. What if I upset that person? By being able to kind of be that narrator in your mind, you might notice reoccurring things that keep happening throughout your day. And then that could enable you to actually have some information, some data to be able to assess what's really going on in your life. Because so often we live our lives on autopilot, as I said, almost like we're living in a fog, not really able to see what's really going on, what patterns have developed in our life, what things have we given up that actually mean a lot to us that we don't do anymore. Maybe it is having a certain group of friends that were so beneficial and brought you so much joy in your life. Or maybe it is certain habits like journaling that you've given up on and you might realize that was really helping me. I was feeling really good when I was meditating and journaling and I just stopped that. So, by being that third-party person, examining your own life and looking at your life through that kind of a third-party distanced lens can actually enable you to see some of the habits that you might want to break and some of the positive things you might want to reintroduce into your life. And I also like this kind of narrator view because it's not judgmental. It's not saying like, Melissa's a terrible person because of this. It's just actually stating the quote unquote facts and the ways that you've been feeling, the things that you've been saying, the people that you've been surrounding yourself with. Because there's actually a lot of power in being able to kind of take things for what they are. Because when you actually can see things clearly, then you can make some changes. But if you're just feeling like, I don't know what's wrong with me, I always feel like I'm always upset, or I always feel sad, I always feel lonely, I always feel not good enough. Why? Being able to actually have that data, like I said, that information, then it's like, okay, what can I do with this? Where can I go from here? It gives you a starting place and it gives you something to work with. So another way that you can start to see yourself more objectively, and I love doing this, is to, sorry, I'm referring to my handy whiteboard that has all of my notes, is to pretend that you're giving advice to a friend. You know, when your friend has an issue in life, how quickly can you come up with a response? Usually pretty quickly, you know? They'll say, I'm feeling this way. And then all of a sudden, at least for me, I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's because of this, or why don't you try this? And it's so much easier to give advice to a friend because you are detached. You're not, you know, taking things personally. You're thinking, and also because, you know, you're not putting that person down. So often we put ourselves down and we feel not good enough, and we have all of these other emotions and fears and insecurities that stop us from being able to actually help ourselves. And so when it comes to helping a friend who you love dearly and you think of very highly, it's so much easier to say, well, maybe it's that boyfriend who keeps putting you down. Maybe that's not the best, you know, relationship for you. Or maybe it's the, you know, that person at work that you really need to set some boundaries with. Or maybe it is that you need to go back to doing that yoga that you used to love. I remember how much you told me that you loved yoga and it made you feel so great. Why don't we go do that together? Why don't you get back into that? So if you actually picture the advice that you would give to your friend whenever you're having a certain situation or you're feeling a certain way in life, ask yourself, if this was so-and-so, what would I tell them? And then all of a sudden the ideas start flowing because, again, you get that detachment. You're able to be a bit more objective. And this really helps if you feel like you're just feeling stuck. Sometimes it's like, you know, when there's so much emotion involved and you're feeling frustrated about something, sometimes you just want to shut down and you're like I don't know what to do. But being able to detach yourself I kind of think of it like a scientist, someone who's removed the emotion from the situation and actually just able to see that is not working. That is, when you did those things, you felt better. So start doing more of that. When you hang around these people, they drain your energy. So let's distance yourself from that and kind of work on the equation until you have something that works and works well for you. All right, next, creating a sense of urgency. And what I mean by this is, and I'm going to read from my notes, is yes, okay, so sometimes we want to, like our inner self, sometimes it feels, and this doesn't make a lot of sense, but somehow it's true, where it's our comfort zones can actually be very damaging and can actually be terrible for us. You know, sometimes a comfort zone might be sitting on the couch watching 10 hours of TV a day and eating junk food all day. You know that that's not good for you, but for some reason that's where you feel comfortable, and that feels like a safety net for you, and that feels like a comfort zone. So and often we can go through these phases of sticking in that comfort zone for way too long because there's no sense of urgency. There's nothing really pushing you to get out of that and to figure things out and to find the solution to what's been really stressing you out in your life. And so what I like to do is create a fake sense of urgency in your mind. For example, if I said that I'm going to give you $1 million if you come up to the solution to your biggest life problem in 30 minutes. And I was serious. Like, I want you to use your imagination and pretend that this is true. If someone said, you have 30 minutes, I want you to write it out on paper. What is an action plan for you to get out of this mess that you're in right now? Or for you to get out of this emotional funk that you've been feeling lately? Or for you to start to build up your confidence again? Or whatever it may be. Maybe you're in a financial funk and you're in a financial situation that is unpleasant. I'm going to give you 30 minutes, and in that 30 minutes, I want you to come up with an action plan. Set that timer, and if you have an action plan that will work and you have some steps to take, I'll give you $1 million. So, you know, kind of creating something that is going to put the pressure on you in a positive way to actually get you to figure things out, because I truly believe that you have the answers to any negative situation that you're experiencing right now. You know the answers. You know at least one step that you could take that would better your life, that would help you move in the right direction and help you feel better. Like, we know what to do. We have this inner wisdom that, you know, these tips and tools and techniques that I share are really kind of just things to kind of crack that code and to kind of, fuel that part of us, that knows the answer already. I like to kind of coax that out of you. And so that's what these practices are. I use that a lot for procrastination, the timer method. And I did this the other day. I was sorting through my closet and finding things that I was going to donate to Goodwill. And I was taking a long time. Like I would just, every time I went in my closet, I have 2 couches in our bedroom. And I would, pick a few things out and put them there. And then I ended up having a pile. And that pile was there for a few days. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to set a timer for 45 minutes. And I am going to, give myself only that 45 minutes to sort all this clothes, get things bagged up to take to Goodwill. I don't want any other clothes laying around on these couches. I want, my closet sorted, looking good and organized, and that's it. I set the timer and I finished it in like 26 minutes, I think. And I'm thinking, this was a process of something that was just taking me days, and I would spend a little bit of time on it here and there, and then I would have these clothes that were for donation just in my bedroom. And just setting that timer, creating that urgency made me figure it out, made me make the decisions on what to keep and what to donate. And it felt really good. And this can be applied to any situation that you're going through in your life. Give yourself 30 minutes and be like, I'm going to be objective. I'm going to, you can kind of combine all 3 of those techniques that I shared with you and use it to strategize and make a plan for yourself to move you to the next level, to finally break through whatever it is that's been holding you back for way too long. It could be a health and fitness thing, and you feel like, I don't know, nothing's working. I've tried healthy eating. I still feel sluggish. I still am having a hard time, getting my fitness to a certain level or losing this last 10 pounds that I would really love to lose. And if you enable yourself to let yourself off the hook and just think, I don't know the answer. I don't know what it is. Nothing's going to work for me. You're not doing yourselves any favor. So by actually forcing yourself to sit down, set that timer, and brainstorm like your life depends on it, you will be so surprised with the intelligent responses that you end up coming up with. You are wise beyond any concept of yourself. You have so much inner wisdom and knowledge. These videos that I share with you with these practices are not even like a tiny fraction of the answers that you know that will help you solve the things that you're going through in your life. So really kind of just owning that and say, hey, I have what it takes to figure this situation out is going to really empower you. And I wish you all the best. If you are feeling stuck, I hope that this video helps you to get unstuck and start feeling fantastic. And I love you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. And if you have a question for me, don't be shy. You can feel free to message it to me, and I may feature it in a video and share some practices and tips and techniques that will help you move through whatever you are experiencing right now. And if you want me to not use your name, that is completely fine as well. All right, have a beautiful day. I'll see you next time. Bye.